When you're ready, go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Rest the hands on your lap. And then soften the eyes closed. And take a moment here to check in with yourself. Start to breathe even deeper. Notice the rise and fall of the chest and shoulders with each breath in and out. Begin to observe your body. And take this time to notice where feels tight or tense, and where needs a little bit more love and a little bit more compassion today. Take an inhale and invite in what you need, what you want most from this practice. With your exhale, simply let go of what you don't. Hopefully now you're feeling a little bit more present in your mind and your body. Start to flicker the eyes open and come back to your space. Welcome to the practice. Reach the arms overhead and interlace the fingers, and then flip the palms to face up. Start to lift your shoulders up by your ears and lift your ribs away from your hips. And take an inhale here, get up a little bit taller. As you exhale, lean to the left, find a little bit of a bend as we stretch the whole right side. And if you're starting to feel like the right side buttocks is lifting off the mat, try to ground down through that side for a little bit of stability. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lean to the right. And if the left side is lifting, try to ground down through that side. Inhale, come back up. Relax the arms by your side and take a couple of shoulder rolls just to roll away any tension that is hanging on in the shoulder area. A couple times back and a couple times forwards. Then rest the hands on the knees and we'll start to circle the belly. So you're just circling forwards and rounding the spine as you circle back. You can take this as fast or as slow as you like. Our intention here is to begin waking up all of the muscles and the joints in the spine and around the torso. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. Feel for whatever feels good in your body, and that will always be the best way to move. If you've been going in the same direction, switch directions. Then come back to center, sit up a little bit taller. With an inhale, draw your chest forwards, roll your shoulders back. As you exhale, roll the shoulders forwards and round the back. Draw the chin to the chest. Inhale, draw the chest forwards as if you're pulling your chest through your arms. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, round the shoulders forwards and round the back. Continue to move at the pace of your breath. Inhale, expand the chest forwards. And exhale, round the spine. So we're moving the spine in all directions before we get into the practice. Cycle through this for one more breath in and out. And then sit up nice and tall, relax the shoulders down the back. And we'll meet in tabletop, hands and knees position. Swinging the legs around and setting the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Spread the fingers wide. Then start to move through a figure of 8. Come forwards over the wrists, back towards the knees and the heels. And you can take this movement as small or as wide as you like. And the focus here is to warm up the wrists. So if the wrists feel a little bit tender, that's okay. It's very normal. Focus on breathing deeply and moving in ways that feel good. So the movement is about nurturing the body. Come back into tabletop. And start to tuck the toes. We're going to begin to move a little bit faster to generate some heat. Take an inhale in tabletop. As you exhale, lift the knees, lift the hips, press back to downward facing. And the heels can stay raised, knees can stay bent. There's no pressure to be in the most perfect downward dog. Be in the pose that works best for your body. With your next inhale, look in between the hands and bring the knees back down for tabletop. Untuck the toes. Exhale, press back to child's pose. Send the hips to the heels. You may want to reach the arms a little further forwards, create more space. Rest the forehead on the mat. Take a full breath in and out. Let yourself be at ease in the pose. With your next inhale, come back up to tabletop. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward dog. Lift the hips. Straighten out the legs. And gaze in between your legs towards your toes. So you're resting your head and neck. With an inhale, look in between the hands. Lower the knees for tabletop. Untucking the toes. Exhale, child's pose. Reach the arms forwards, rest the forehead on the mat. Let your body soften into the support of the ground, embodying our theme of letting go. Inhale, come back up to tabletop, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the hips, downward dog. Staying here for 5 breaths this time. Depending on what you need from this pose, you can stay in complete stillness. Or if you'd like to move a little bit more, you can pedal out the legs. And as you pedal out the legs, you can shimmy the hips from side to side, creating more space, inviting the body to let go of any more tension. Settle into stillness and look in between the hands. Step the right foot forwards, lower the back knee. Then keeping the fingertips on the mat, untuck the back toes. And begin to let your hips sink forwards and down. Inviting a deep release for the left side hip flexors. And this can be quite intense, so if that's the case, begin to work with your breath to manage the intensity of the pose. Almost like you could use your breath as a distraction to breathe through any discomfort. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest towards the front of your mat. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, press the fingertips into the mat, lift the hips, and then straighten out your front leg. Flex the foot so you're balancing on the heel. Take another breath in, lift the chest, create lots of space in the spine. With your exhale, fold over the leg. This can be very intense if the hamstrings are tight, so you may want to find a little bit more of a bend in the knee. Then if the head and neck is compensating by gazing forwards, gaze down to relax and release the neck. In these moments of stillness, bring your awareness back to that mantra. With your inhale, inviting in what you need. With the exhale, let go of what you don't. Lift the chest, bend the front knee, and we'll step back to plank pose. Gaze in between the thumbs so your head and neck aren't working very hard in this pose. Let the rest of the body do the work. And draw your tummy in. Squeeze the glutes, activate the legs. Take an inhale and press the mat away from you. As you exhale, knees down. Shift forwards, bring the shoulders past the wrists. Bend the elbows, come down to the belly. Bring the forearms onto the mat in front for Sphinx pose. Gentle back bend to begin, so there's no need to be pushing yourself to your extreme. Simply allow the pose to work its magic from a place of ease. Bring the hands under the shoulders. Press back up to tabletop. And tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing. Set the hands in the feet. Pedal out the legs if you feel you need to. And looking in between the hands, step the left foot forwards, lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toes. And begin to let your hips sink forwards and down. So we're beginning to open up this whole front of the right hip area, your hip flexors. Begin to dial up the breath to help work through any discomfort. And relax the shoulders down the back. Open the chest. Lift the hips, straighten out the front leg, flex the foot, and fold forwards. Find a little bend in the knee if you need to modify. And completely let go of your head and neck. Observe those parts of the body that are holding on to tension. And as best you can, actively let go. Lift the chest, bend the front leg, and step back to plank. Draw the belly in, press the ground away. This time we'll go through a full chaturanga. Lower the knees like before if you need to modify. To begin, inhale, shift forwards, shoulders past the wrists. Exhale, start to bend the elbows close to the side of the ribs as you lower down in one line with control. Untuck the toes and keep the hands under the shoulders. And start to press the tops of the feet into the mat to engage the legs. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, lift the chest for cobra. And again, it doesn't have to be extreme for you to benefit from the pose. In fact, it's much better to be in a place of ease than a place of struggle. Inhale, breathe in deeply. Exhale, empty all the air out. Press back up to tabletop. Lift the hips, come to downward facing. Set the hands and the feet. Then step the feet as wide as your mat. And walk the hands in towards the feet to come into a wide forward fold. Take a hold of opposite elbow. Let your torso and head hang heavy. We're just hanging out here. Letting gravity do the work. So the only thing you need to focus on is letting go. Bring the fingertips to the mat. And if you can't quite reach the mat, then widen your stance so that you bring yourself closer to the ground. And start to bend the right knee and shift the hips to the right. So we're finding a stretch down the inside of the left thigh. Then bend the left knee, stretching inside of right thigh. And we'll continue to move right, left, left, right. Opening up the muscles on the insides of left and right leg. Come back into your straddle fold. And keep the left fingertips on the mat in front of you, imagining that you're creating a triangle from the left hand to both feet. With an inhale, reach the right arm up and twist open to the right. Then wrap the right arm around the back. Reach for your waistband or your t-shirts. And finally, let go of the head and neck. Let the left ear draw towards the shoulder. Option to close down the eyes. Deepen the breath. Release the right hand back down to the mat as you untwist. With an inhale, left arm reaches up, twist open to the left. Then wrap the left arm around the back and let go of the head. Relax the head towards the right shoulder. Dial up the breath a little bit more. Release the left hand back down to the mat. Then open out your feet to a 45-degree angle and bend the knees, sit the hips down. And walk the hands close to the body and bring the hands to your thighs so that you can lift up. And then resting the hands on the thighs, roll the right shoulder in and roll the left shoulder back. You can add a little bit of a pressure to press the right thigh away from you. So encouraging right side hip to open as the right side shoulder rolls in. Then roll the right shoulder back, come back through center. Roll the left shoulder in and the right shoulder back. Pressing left hand into the thigh to encourage left side hip to open. We'll take this once more, both sides, come back through center. Roll right shoulder in, press into the right thigh. Come back through center. Roll left shoulder in, press away from left thigh. Come back through center. Bring the fingertips to the mat. Straighten out the legs and bring the feet in parallel. And start to walk the hands forwards, coming back into downward dog. And step the feet in hips width. Step the feet a little further back and come up onto the balls of the feet so the heels are raised. Bring the feet together. Rounding the spine, come forwards into plank. Open out into side plank on the left. Reaching the right arm up. Lower the left knee down to the mat. Reach the right arm overhead and turn the chest to face the sky. Opening up the front side of the body. Letting go of the head and neck. Inhale, invite in what you need. Exhale, let go of what you don't. Bring the right hand back down to the mat. Step the left foot back into plank with the feet together. Open out to side plank on your right. Lower the right knee down to the mat and reach the left arm overhead. Spinning the chest to open to the sky, relaxing the head and neck. Deep breath in, focusing what it is that you're inviting in. As you exhale, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to that you don't need. Whatever is no longer relevant. Bring the left hand back onto the mat, step back to plank. Then bend the knees, find tabletop. Reaching the left arm up, twist open to left side. And thread the left arm under the right. Lower the shoulder, lower the head. And you have a couple options. You can either reach the right arm forwards, or the right arm can wrap around the back. Wherever you find yourself, take the option that is easiest. Take what feels right. Press the right hand into the mat. Come back up to tabletop. And we'll take this to the second side. Reach right arm up. Inhale as you twist open. Exhale, thread right arm under the left. Lower the shoulder, lower the head. And the left arm can either reach forwards or wrap around the back. Let yourself soften into a place of ease. Observing the breath moving through the body. Press the left hand into the mat. Lift back up into tabletop. Then sit back on your knees and rest the arms by your side. We'll take a couple of shoulder rolls. Just to loosen off any tension that is still lingering in the upper body. And if at any time this becomes uncomfortable for your knees, you could take any other seated position that works. Relax the shoulders down the back all together. And then tilt the head to the left. Find a release for the right side of the neck. And the rest of the body is resting here. So you don't need to worry about what the arms, the torso, or the legs are doing. Lift the head back up and tilt the head to the right. Finding a stretch for the left side of the neck. Breathe deeply. Lift the head back up. Then sit over on one side and swing the legs forwards. Then start by flexing your feet so the muscles in the legs switch on. Bend the right knee and hug the leg into the chest. Then let the knee open out to the side, bringing the foot to the inside of left thigh. Keeping the hips square facing the front of the mat, reach the arms up, inhale. With your exhale, fold forwards. Relax the arms wherever they fall. And draw the chin in towards the chest. Let the neck go. Start to slow down your breath. And as we do this, it acts as a signal to the mind and to the body that we're starting to slow down. So by slowing down the breath, we are letting the body and mind know that we're starting to relax and get ready to rest. Reach the arms forwards. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release the arms and straighten out the right leg. And bend the left knee, hug the leg into the chest. Open the knee out to the side, bring the foot to the inside of right thigh. Reaching the arms up, inhale, create space. Exhale as you fold. Relax the arms, head and neck. And anywhere else where you notice there is tension. Maybe the jaw, maybe the hips or the low back. Come back to your breath. Back to inviting in what it is you need. And letting go of what you don't. Reach the arms forwards. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, relax the arms. Straighten out the left leg. And lie down on the back. As you lie down, let your legs and arms spread out so the body takes up space. Relax the shoulders down the back. And make any final movements you need to before committing yourself to stillness. Let the ground completely support you. Letting anything else that you are still carrying, still holding on to, go. Begin to deepen the breath. Bring your awareness to each part of your body that is in connection with the ground. With that awareness, start to find small movements to begin waking up your body. Feeling for all of the different sensations that start to come back as you move. And hug the knees into the chest and roll onto one side. Take as much time here as you need, keeping the eyes closed. When you're ready, come back up to a seated position with the eyes remaining closed. And settle back in, sit up a little bit taller. Relax the shoulders down the back. Take a moment to observe what has shifted, what has changed. Notice how you feel after actively letting go of what no longer serves you. Most importantly, take a moment to thank yourself for dedicating this time. We'll close the practice by bringing hands together in prayer, bowing the head. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.